They are experiencing what I'm describing, but many of these people say, I've never been diagnosed with a lot of people with mental disorders are never diagnosed, stipulated. I understand that. But these are people who don't experience themselves. They don't have PTSD. They don't have a personality disorder that they know of. They don't have a major mood disorder. They're not schizophrenic. And many of them are saying, I'm experiencing something like this for the first time in my life. And my provisional hypothesis is the world is, in fact, not opinion, but in objective fact, going crazy. We are being told crazy things that are not true and that are contradictory. We are being told to accept that contradictions are true. And it is so relentless that I'm starting to believe that derealization, which I only ever thought of as happening with these mental disorders, may be happening to otherwise, quote unquote, normal people because of the extremity of society. What do you think about that? Whether you agree, disagree, or see it some way, some third way?
Yeah, I think we're on the same page. I mean, I think we have a similar worldview. I think a lot of the media and all these messages that we're getting, all of the lies, the relentless lies, it is likened to an abusive relationship. And these symptoms happen when you're in a very abusive relationship and you can no longer check in with your own sense of reality. And the staple of psychology for a long time has been cognitive behavioral therapy. And that's about reality testing and reality checking. And you ground yourself to deal with anxiety and depression by checking in with reality. But if you can't do that reality checking, it's really hard to feel stable.
Okay, I mean, I'm conflicted on that because, of course, it gives me validation for my opinion, and I do have an ego that I am prone to. So I like that part, but the part I don't like is that I don't want us to be right about this. But I think we are. Because reality testing and reality checking has been on my mind big time, too. That's exactly right. How can we test reality when we try to do it, right? Like, take the example, that I used in the first segment of the show. We are being told that when we're watching the Olympics, we just watched a male, somebody who, this is not an opinion, anybody who does not believe me may check behind me and they will confirm that I am telling the truth. Imani Khalif from Algeria, the boxer who clobbered the Italian Angela Carini at the Olympics, does in fact have XY chromosomes. This is an established fact as far as we can say. That does mean male. There is no way in which that means female. He may have a disorder of sexual development that some people call intersex, but even if that is the case, he is still a male. And all of us, we can see this. You, Pamela, can see it. I can see it. Kevin can see it. Every single person listening to me right now, every human actually on Earth, will look at Imani Khalif and instantly code him as male. Mm-hmm. That's real. There's nothing crazy about that. That's just ordinary sense information. But when people say that, they're being told, and not just by their friends, but by government agencies, by respectable media, even though it shouldn't be respectable, people do treat it as if it is. And they're being told by people who represent official Olympic sporting bodies and medical testing bodies that they are not seeing what they're seeing. And they're being told that they are crazy and bigoted for simply saying, I see a man. How can you reality test in this atmosphere?
Yeah, I've experienced that exact thing. We were actually talking offline. I did one little comment on Twitter and said he's a man and it was unfair. And I'm still several days later getting piled on for saying that. And it's tough. The good news is I think a few years into the real high level of madness, I think post 2020, a lot of us have found each other that are very much we value truth and reality. So I think finding those other people, it helps ground you, but it's still tough to be in a world with sometimes family and friends, people in our regular everyday life that cannot recognize that reality matters and that it's